$75,000 of student loan debt. Say the degree one more time.
All right, study Shakespeare.
No, you can't. Income that came in was $1,600. Rent is $12.
Girl math.
That's your. Why does he go to a private school?
Because it's, do you want to get into the educational system right now?
Okay, a little. I'm just asking, why does he go to the private school? It's a question.
Oh. So today we're going to be watching some videos that'll make us all feel better about ourselves and our financial situations, our financial decisions, because you could be a multimillionaire and be absolutely perfect with your money, or be having a tough time right now, not really being able to afford the cost of living, or just barely making it work right now. But the people we're going to be watching today have put themselves in such an unbelievably terrible financial situation that it's almost impressive how bad they are with money. Now, we're going to be checking out some of the guests that Caleb Hammer has had on his podcast style videos. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a really big, I guess you would say, financial YouTuber. He makes very long form podcast style videos going over everybody's financial situations who end up getting on the show. And we're not talking about the people who will start working at McDonald's and expect $120,000 a year salary. We're talking about some of the people who actually don't know what the word debt means. It seems like they're almost making it up just to get attention, but there's no financial gain for these people. They just go on to try to fix their financial situations. We're going to be going over some videos and some comments, so leave your comments down below and I'll pick some of them out for the next video. We'll just start off with this guy being $45,000 in debt.
This is a lot of student loan debt for associates.
Yeah.
Total across the board, $44,585. Past due. Past due. They'll garnish your wages. This is debt to the government.
I didn't know. I didn't get a notification.
What did you go to school for?
I got an associate's degree in paralegal studies. And then I started going to school for my nursing. And
Oh my gosh, this is a sixth career path.
so
Dude, it's f***ing crazy. You're in a career for 2-3 years and then you're on to the next. You get bored. Good. You're almost in the 400 credit score range.
yeah.
Oh, been forever since I've seen something like that. Like literally the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You're
But-
going to finish nursing?
Well, I haven't fully committed yet.
So I mean, this dude has absolutely blown my mistakes out of the water. I've talked about it a couple times. By the time I ended up dropping out of community college, I was $21,000 in debt, but he has more than doubled it and apparently has gone to 6 different career paths. That's why he was racking up debt right there. I mean, after the third one, you got to know that this is just almost a lost hope. I don't know how you make those kind of decisions, and being a 400 credit score, that means he just doesn't pay off anything ever. I don't even know how he has a credit line at all. I mean, you can see some of the comments, 45K in student loans only to finish community college. I mean, if you're a pretty good student and didn't go to a super expensive college, you could be in less student debt and actually get a full bachelor's degree compared to this guy who just finished community college and then just decided to work at a different career path and another career path and over again. So even though that was a lot of debt, I would say that was pretty mild compared to the rest of the clips that I have for this episode. It is only going to get worse.
You can't afford to go out.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. Income that came in was $1,600. Rent is $12.
Girl math.
That's your. This is not a joke.
I'm not treating it as a joke. I mean,
Girl math. Math says it's about 80% of your income.
yeah.
And you bought $1 of Apple stock?
Yeah, I tried. I genuinely didn't know what it was, but I've heard people opening stocks and getting more money and being successful with it. So I was like, let's try it. And I got 96 cents out of it. So I use a lot of girl math. I use a lot of
That, first of all, that was a meme from 2 months ago. The internet moves quick.
yeah,
And second of all,
it's bad.
math is the real math when we're actually talking about your life and improving your situation.
But if real math doesn't work, then we transition to girl math and we use it to live.
Oh, your rent of what again?
Almost $1,400.
Okay, it's 70%. 70%. You cannot afford it. It shouldn't be higher than 30%.
I don't even know how these people would decide to go on his show. It's so embarrassing. I mean, people treating it as a joke and saying girl math just because they just spend whenever they want to. This is the same person. I don't believe I have the clip in this video, but I did watch a little bit more of the same girl on the show. And when she got a credit card from her parents, she just believed it was free money. So she had an $8,000 credit line and racked up $4,000 worth of debt, and she just thought that that was a good thing. Somehow that was, I don't I don't even know how you would process that would be good. She actually did not know what debt was and that you legitimately had to pay back that $4,000 on the credit card. It's like financial illiteracy, as if you're trying to talk to a 5-year-old who has actually never heard of any of this in their entire life. But this person's like at least 20. And I mean, the top comment on this video with 127,000 likes just says actual brain rot. This is the kind of person in my mind that's too far gone and nobody could save them. I hope this person is just honestly a burden to their family and their parents, because this is 100% a person who would just be on Section 8 for the rest of their lives because they think it's free money and would never get out of the financial like hole that they're in for as long as they live. And then that just turns into more responsible people paying their welfare checks through our taxes and burdening her issues on all of us. And this next one, man, oh my God, this is exactly what older generations think that Gen Z and millennials will do to get a degree and then surprise that they have absolutely no jobs. This one's very, very frustrating.
Student loans. We built up $75,000 of student loan debt. Say the degree one more time.
All right, study Shakespeare.
Okay. Shakespeare. Lovely guy. What are you going to do with that?
Well, that's such a complicated question.
Oh, no. I was really hoping for a more, you knew what you were going to do with this much school and student loans.
This is where I just have to say, we come from different worlds. You're not going to understand this.
What do you mean?
You won't understand like the precarity and why it's really all right.
What do you mean though?
Like your reaction there was like, oh,
I studied music composition in college. I was in the College of Arts School of Music.
Okay.
But I asked the job and you didn't know what to say.
So I have a lot of experience working at writing centers.
Okay.
So I could be that, there's availability for those kinds of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I also, something I really enjoy is like working with people who are like applying to college. I've like played around with the idea of like opening a business, doing that, something like that. I have a lot of experience and a lot of success, like helping people with resumes and getting jobs. So I could do stuff like that. Like I could be a professor.
So we at least have a path of where
and
we
I have
wanna
lots
go.
of backup paths too. And I'm like very good at what I do. So I will have a job.
Yeah.
Like that's not a concern at all.
How long is this PhD?
6 years. It's pretty standard.
Guess we do come from a little different worlds because music composition is like 2 to 3 years.
$75,000 to read Shakespeare. What will that ever get you other than what they already said in the video about teaching other people? So say if you get a worthless degree from a college, the only option to get a job with that degree is to teach other people in that college to get that degree, even though it has no viability basically in the rest of society in general. Wasting $75,000 on that is actually the meme of like getting a gender studies degree and then being mad that you can't get a job. That is legitimately that right there. $75K debt to study Shakespeare. Shakespeare degree, not even an English degree, which would at least help you a little bit. And they overlap. I mean, that's the entirety of Shakespeare's English. And then the same with so many degrees out there, but people just aren't good at making financial decisions at all, or so locked into going to college absolutely no matter what. But $75K when Google is free. You could have learned everything you wanted to learn about Shakespeare and his life and all of his writing and whatever else. Guarantee you could find it on Google. We're just gonna play this one. I don't even need to explain it. You could, within the first like 10 seconds, you're gonna understand how ridiculous this is.
Yeah, but you get cash back.
Yeah, but with the $67.59 of interest, well, cash back is competing with that.
But if you're
in a single month, $67.59 of interest.
Yeah, but if you look at it, like you get cash back on every payment throughout the month. Eventually, you're gonna get like.
See the child of the relationship? I mean, he doesn't bring in any money, and he apparently spends it all anyway. Cash back? What the? Cash back is for people who never pay for interest that's never accruing. What's the cash back on the Discover?
It depends because sometimes they give you like 5%.
Okay, 5%.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. But on your balance, you're losing 18%. So net,
Well, see, they don't
like 12%.
Yeah, they don't say. See right there,
What do you mean they
5%
don't
cash
say?
back.
I don't understand why he's so proud about 5% cash back. It's like we think they're lying. Like, I know Caleb does this for content and he racks in the views, all right? This is a very large channel, very successful channel, but I don't even know how he stays patient with these people for how many episodes he's done. This is legitimately a child in an adult body.
Yeah, you got 21
front.
cents. You got 21 cents. Congratulations. Plus 60.
When you say it like that, it doesn't sound so good, Caleb.
Yeah. So why do we do it? Do you believe it? Like,
Well, I did.
Until
Well, so like we just bought gas today, and I put it on my Discover card, opposed to the bank account.
to discover it.
Correct.
Okay. Why?
Because I thought if I got the 5% cash back,
Yeah,
then
but-
I'm
but-
saving money.
Okay. What do you think about this?
I
What-
was literally going to put it on the bank card, and he said, no, I'm going to put it on my credit card.
Why? Headed here.
Yeah.
Which one? Who pushed to come on here?
Me?
That doesn't make. Then you know the show enough, and you still put it on a credit card, and you're sitting here talking about cash back with me. I'm very confused.
Well, but because we're gonna pay it off before it starts.
You're
gaining-
not.
But it was only $25.
No, but that doesn't matter. The balance is literally only going down by $10, and it's sitting at $4,592.
But if you
And
get,
that's getting accrued at 18% rounded.
but if you pay that 25 off before the next cycle, you shouldn't get interest on that.
But your overall balance is huge, and that's gaining interest. So the money you're paying off is, I guess, in your mathematical way, paying off the thing you just purchased instead of actually paying down the balance that's gaining interest. So still, it's being completely negated.
I feel like there's a loophole here that I'm missing.
There isn't.
5%, if I pay that back before, then I didn't have to use $0, right? I made $0 if I just use my bank account.
I get what you're saying, but because what you're doing is paying back that immediate purchase, you're not paying down the overall balance instead. And the balance is sitting in there thick and
Oh,
mighty.
but-
It's almost like he thinks that the 5% cash back is just going to pay for everything in his life. So somehow, some way, he is going to get his 5% cash back, damn it. But the literal thousands of dollars in debt on that exact same credit card, he's not paying off. But still, that 5% is going to be the difference maker in getting him out of the hole or just being able to buy stuff for free in his mind. Like it does seem like they're actually making this up for attention. But again, there's no real gain for this. It's not like any of these people are content creators or trying to make some sort of business out of this. It's honestly just a lost cause. And you go to the comments, lights are on, but nobody is home. A very common theme to these comment sections we have here, people like this make me feel so financially responsible, because even if you put yourself in a hole for one reason or another, car payments, rent, not being able to afford food, I would venture to guess that everybody who's watching this video know it's a bad thing and you're going to accrue interest and it's going to be very difficult to get out of it, but you need to do it, right? And you're going to work towards it. And these people are just, like the first comment says, lights are on, but nobody's home. They're just completely hollow inside. Oh, wow. You know, when I initially thought of making this video, I thought it would be fun. We can make some jokes. We'd all laugh and that'd be the end of the video. But man, I am like stressed out for these people just for how dumb these decisions are. I don't know how this guy does a podcast like this for a living. I would lose my mind. I need to put some context for this clip because this lady is nasty, super defensive. And again, they're not like holding a gun to her head telling her to go on this podcast. These people are willingly going on to try to fix their financial future, and then she gets on here and then just does nothing but bitch and complain to him like it's his fault or he should be sympathetic. But this woman is 40, living at home because she's in so much debt that she can't afford anything. And then we get into this clip.
Why does he go to a private school?
Because it's. Do you want to get into the educational system right now?
Okay, a little. I'm just asking, why does he go to the private school? It's a question. What are you?
Because
Why are
I
you, like, the
care
most
about my
defensive-
son's education.
Why are you the most defensive person that's ever existed on this planet? I just asked, why does he go to a private school?
Well, the
Give
way
me a
that you
reason.
asked it.
Give me.
There's-
I asked, why does he go to a private school?
Yeah, but you didn't ask. You asked in a tone. Okay, so.
I always have a tone.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have a tone too. I want him to have a great education. I'm a teacher. I know what public school education system entails. I know.
What do you mean? I
firsthand.
went to a public school.
I did too. That's why I refused to put my son in one.
Is that why you can't afford your own place? Because you went to a public school?
What does that have to do with it?
Exactly. You're trying to use it as an excuse like it's bad. I went to public school. I'm fine.
It is bad.
You went to. What do you mean? No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's
You know,
horrendous.
it depends on the area.
No.
Now, if you answered and said the hometown that you are based in, that we're not going to say the name of,
Yeah, well, the
has
schools
a
suck there.
terrible. Well, that's what you had to. Say. My gosh.
And then
what-
where he
talking to a brick
born,
wall.
where he was born in Philly, the schools suck there too. Okay, it's like the city is just
How
the
much is the
crime
private
rate.
school?
The crime rate. It's $200 a month.
You know that does not change the instance that the
It's actually
that the
$400,
miscellaneous
but
bull-
a scholarship.
oh my gosh, that the miscellaneous bull that you spend your money on, the miscellaneous things that don't matter, was as much as
Well, what
I
do you-
said.
okay,
And
you're-
one
you're sitting
second. Hey, you said don't interrupt me, so don't interrupt me. That is about the same amount of money that you could live on your own independently. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man. This woman is teaching our future generations. And I don't know about you, but I would say the vast majority of the entire country has been taught by the public system. And again, just like everybody who has basically gotten out of the public system, there are many flaws. Basically, everything that I've done for a living after getting out of college has not been taught to me at all by the schooling system. That's kind of a majority of people, like everywhere. So you being in a massive amount of credit card debt, living with your parents because of it, and then still sending your kid to private school is probably not the best look. And then the first time you're challenged by it, you're just absolutely completely defensive, like it's the best decision ever. There are plenty of instances that private schools, Catholic schools that are super expensive and prestigious just end up frying kids even worse than public school. So, I mean, she is in the financial hole right now. It still is her decision, but again, she made the choice to go on this show, and then she gets challenged by one of her decisions and she gets all mad. I don't know how much longer I could do this. I had a ton of clips because it's very easy to get content from Caleb. This is annoying the hell out of me.
Statistically, this does not have the longest lifespan. You're just barely surviving. And that money's going to just fast food, and alcohol and weed. That's all your life is just alcohol, weed, and living in a car. I'm terrified for your health. I don't think you're living. You're barely just scraping by, and it's only because of the heart of others. You don't have car insurance, do you?
No.
It's illegal.
I know. I don't like begging for money from people. I feel bad all the time.
Oh, you clearly don't feel bad enough
I-
because that's how you're surviving. If you felt bad, you'd be an adult for the first time in your life and you'd go get a job and actually do something.
So this person is just homeless, killing themselves with food, weed, and alcohol instead of trying to get on their feet. They rely on their friends to go over to their house to sleep sometimes, to take showers, and there's just no real accountability. If you feel bad about doing something all the time, you don't really feel bad. I couldn't imagine living like that. And I know the goal of his channel is what this commenter was talking about. Watching your videos is helping me get my finances in order. And I mean, anybody who watches these type of clips and sees how insane they are is clearly on the right path for their future, because they're not going to turn into somebody like any of these clips that we've been talking about in this video. But it's still frustrating to watch nonetheless.
If he wasn't there, I would definitely go get a second job.
Would you?
Yeah.
He's taking care of you, though. He's taking care of you financially right now, even though his finances are. He's still taking care of the vast majority of the bills. Why do you feel no obligation to contribute to the household in
that's
any way whatsoever?
That's what pisses me off. You know, I've been paying rent for how long? For like almost 2.5 years.
So you're 100% taking care of rent.
Yeah, like right now, yes.
Not 100%.
Why?
No, not 100%.
Okay, so
Tell me, what's real?
So
No,
when we first moved in together, I moved into her house. I wasn't, good at home, whatever. So I decided to move in with her.
yes.
We moved in for a few months. Then we got an apartment, and we decided we're gonna go half. We're gonna go half on everything.
Yes.
And it was maybe 2 months in, and she couldn't afford it anymore. So for the rest of the whole lease, I was paying, what was it, like $1,200 by myself, and I wasn't making that much back then.
Yes,
it was-
he was paying rent for that, but I was helping with other stuff we needed outside of the rent.
What?
What? Food. I would
So
pick
it
up
was
any
rent and
slack that he
groceries.
had.
Slack.
Yeah. Wherever he needed. What he
Financially?
needed. If he needed something done with his car.
So it sounds like we were still essentially splitting the bills. We just took care of different parts.
Yeah, but like I also paid her back for all that stuff
yeah, I
too.
mean, he doesn't see it
Did
that
you
way.
pay him back for rent then?
No,
No, I have not.
absolutely
Are you
not.
supposed to?
No.
This became like a therapy session between this couple. I would just legitimately call it quits. I know a lot of divorces in the modern age are due to finances, and I don't know if they're married right now or they were just dating, but this one is just not going to work out. I could see it clear as day, and so could many people in the comments. Bro, run. She's 12 years older, and you're already doing better than her at 25. He's 25 and she's 37, and oh, that guy better run for the hills. He better cut his losses and get out of there. It's just not a good look. She's got him wrapped around her finger, turned into a relationship therapy talk show, and she talks down to him like there's no hope. He's got to get out of this or he's going to have a miserable life, a miserable broke life as well. It's not even like they're spending a whole bunch of money and there's a possibility of making a ton. Now the next clip here, I'm glad that at least he talked about it because I've talked about it on my channel, and at least comparing to a lot of the other stuff that I've put up has not really been pushed to the masses, even though at least that topic for me in that video was my favorite that I ever made, and that was talking about gambling addiction. I am the biggest hater when it comes to gambling. I absolutely hate it, and I hate that it's becoming so common and cool in many facets of our day-to-day life now. It's not just going to Vegas and seeing all the colors and the sounds and hitting the slot machine for like the experience, which isn't even the case anymore. I did go to Vegas a couple weeks ago and there are no slot machines. You're just clicking on a giant iPad now. It's not even cool looking. But I digress. Now, God forbid you only wanted to watch a sports game by itself. The amount of ads that are sports books and betting on it, how many free throws this person's gonna get, how many fouls or yellow cards this guy's gonna, it's not even just like a who will win this team or that team. It's so stupid. And so many people are becoming addicted because this is actually okay now just in the gaming industry, gambling for children. You pay real money for FIFA packs and it's a complete gamble if you get a good or bad player. You could talk about games with skins, getting certain guns in the game. It is literally gambling for children that's legal. And then you're surprised you have so many people like this that legitimately turn into gambling addicts.
Obviously, we have some debt, we have some spending, but I want to ask you, give us, me, and the audience just a little background. What are we looking at here?
So a lot of my debt and stuff comes from my gambling.
At 22.
Yeah, well, I started when I was 15.
They allow that? 15-year-olds?
Well, no, but they didn't check my ID because I've always looked older.
Okay.
But,
You don't look old.
well, when I was younger, I looked
I actually
older.
have a similar haircut.
But I turned $5 into 200 at a blackjack table, and then ever since then, I've just kind of always wanted to keep trying to repeat that experience.
You're into debt for the gambling?
A lot of
Or
it,
because of the gambling?
a lot. Well, so what I would do is my American Express would allow me to send money, like Venmo money, to my friends off of my card, and then I would just have them give me cash.
Okay. So, what does this gambling look like today?
Kind of the same thing, but
How often are you gambling, and with how much, and what are you playing, and where, and why, and when, and what? Anything.
I don't know. You know, I like playing blackjack. I'll play it. I'll gamble on
Anywhere?
anything, anywhere. If I think I can make money, I'll bet money towards it.
How often?
Lately, it's been like maybe once every other week for like big time gambling trips where I'm
Big
going to
time
be
gambling.
where I'm going to be spending, you know, a couple $100s to a couple $1,000. But a lot of times I'll
1,000 every other week. So like $4,000 a month.
well,
I mean,
I don't always lose, you know. Sometimes you win.
yeah, but net, have you lost or won?
Well, I've lost
What-
quite a
what-
bit.
what- That's all your income. That's all your income with both your jobs. If you lose it all, net, have you lost more or won more?
Lost more.
Okay, so it's not about sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Net, you've lost. So you've lost.
I never claimed to be a good gambler.
No, of course not. But that if it's really $2,000 a week, every other week.
I mean,
Wait, I did
on
52, didn't I?
the top end, you know, it's not
2,000
always that much, and I don't always lose all the money. But
That's wild. Oh, so you're clearly addicted.
oh yeah, definitely can't get away from it. And like me and my buddies, even when I'm not like going to the casinos and gambling, you know, bigger chunks of money, like I feel like once a week we're hosting like poker nights where we buy in for, you know, $20-$40 between 10 guys, and then we play like tournament style. like a winner takes all. Or
I like to make the comparison just like I did in my gambling video. I should honestly just make another. I don't really care if it gets a whole bunch of views or doesn't. I just want more people to realize that it's like not cool to be addicted to gambling. Over the past like what, 2 years, vaping and like Juul has gotten absolutely annihilated by everybody in the press. They're making it seem like it's worse than like smoking cigarettes, because surprise, surprise, the thing that was supposed to get you off cigarettes that were causing cancer also cause cancer and get you highly addicted. So there's been tons of rules, like you can't even really get Juuls anymore, and like it's difficult to get vape stuff in like normal stores and the age and all of that, right? A whole bunch of restrictions, which I agree with, but getting kids hooked on gambling by like 12, 13 years old, packs or crates or just boxes in video games, when it's just a common thing that kids will steal their parents' credit card to buy crap online like that, how is that not already an addiction? So you go through their entire life, and I mean, people are stealing money from family members, doing crazy illegal things to get money just to lose it again in the casino. They become alcoholics because of it, and tons of people end up killing themselves. So how is it not just as dangerous as the vapes, as Juul, just like getting cancer? I mean, people are also dying from this, but this is just like a normal okay thing. There are billboards everywhere, commercials all over the place on bet on this game, do the lottery, get these loot boxes in video games. It's way too common, and I absolutely hate it. This is the last one we're doing. I can't handle this anymore. This is a dumb one, but also I would say pretty common in my generation and the generation over me. Maybe not in the way of debt, but just kind of wasting money in my opinion, but we'll just roll the clip.
So what's going on with your finances? What's happening? Where are we today?
I get a lot of tattoos, and I've spent a lot of money on these tattoos in the past year.
That's your financial life, is tattoos?
No, I'm just, so that is like one big expense of area that I've spent a lot of my money.
What are you talking about? How much that I asked about your finances, you say I've spent a lot on tattoos.
I guess like if you like break it down, all of my income is going towards like those credit card payments, which is
the
primarily
minimums.
tattoo the minimums, yeah.
Why are you in so much credit card debt? Why are you in so much credit card debt? How about that?
The tattoos.
No.
I put, okay.
The first one we're going to look at is $8,621 with a $326 minimum monthly payment. That is all tattoo debt? That's all
Not
tattoo
all
debt?
of it. Not all of it. I've put about 10,000 on tattoos in the past year.
In the past year?
Yeah.
Whoa, now I know why you said it. That's insane.
Yeah.
$10,000?
Yeah. And then...
And tattoos? None of them even have color.
This one has some color.
It's a little blue.
Just a little bit.
You have a salt shaker, okay?
It's one of my favorites.
Why $10,000 in the last year on tattoos?
I just kept getting them.
No, why?
Because they look cool.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Subjective, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. My dad isn't a big fan.
I am not a fan of tattoos. I understand in certain situations, people getting them. I personally don't think I'll ever get one. But around my age and a little bit older, it became the cool thing to do to be different. But then when everybody gets like shitty tattoos of salt shakers and crap like that, you're not different. You all end up looking the same. And then a lot of these people, the more tattoos they get, that just becomes their personality. They're like the weird guy with a whole bunch of tattoos all over his body. I bet a lot of people who are watching this video like tattoos and probably don't like my comments, but I really don't care. It's just like he said, it's subjective. And if you're getting yourself into $10,000 worth of debt just to get those tattoos, then you shouldn't get them in the first place. You don't have enough money to. But man, did this video turn south. At the beginning of this, I was like, oh, this is gonna be another funny video. We're gonna be able to laugh. It's more entertainment than anything. Obviously, we could learn to not be like these people, but throughout this whole thing, I have been genuinely angry at some of the decisions that these people make. So yeah, we're done with this one. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and I will talk to you guys later.